I wish I could have known her. The leather straps that hold me down chafe my wrists to the point that they are inflamed and swollen. I struggle against them only to in the end just give up. My arm's tired and I'm emotionally defeated. Why won't they let me go? I can see the clock on the wall if I lean my head as far as I can to the right. My neck cracks and I twist under the restraints to face it. 11:52 a.m. In 8 minutes the doctor will come back in. I know now, though I will ask, that I will get no answers. I wonder if he even knows why I'm stuck here strapped down to this bed. My body shifts again and I rest on my back looking up to the ceiling pads, encircling a small poster of a kitten hanging onto the top of a wooden fence. Hang in there, it says. I hate it. In every sense of the word, I hate it. A loose hair annoyingly sticks to my forehead, and I do my best to blow it away with my lips to no avail. I can hear the electric locks unlatch down the hall, and footsteps heading towards me. They steadily march their way through the hall just beyond my door. I already know who it is and what he wants, so when my door's buzzer alerts and the electric locks disengage, I am not surprised. The doctor steps into the room, the door automatically closes and the electronic latch system locks. He looks well rested. His beard is trimmed and his glasses look like mirrors as he stands at a small countertop to the right of the door. The countertop has a sink and medical supplies. How are you today, Christopher? My eyes scan the room and I do my best to avoid his stare, but eventually I look directly at him and we make eye contact. There you go. He smiles at me and sets his clipboard down after slightly shaking it in his hands. How are you doing today, Christopher? My throat is dry, and although I'm in no mood to talk, in near whisper I respond by asking, Let me go. What did I do to deserve this? I pull upward on the straps with both arms. The strap across my legs and chest seem to tighten, and the IV in my arm burns like fire as I do so. What did I do? I yell across the room. The cat overhead was looking at me comically with the caption, Hang in there, mocking me. The doctor turns away from me and digs through a drawer under the counter. Now, Christopher, I know we've had this conversation before. He moves things from the drawer up to the countertop. Do you remember us having this discussion? He turns to me slightly as if awaiting an answer. I'm so tired of being bound here. I can't stand it any longer. In the back of my mind I scream out for salvation, but in the passing seconds my anger turns into desperation. Knowing what is coming next haunts me. Please, I beg. I don't know what I did, but please, I have a life. I have people who are looking for me. The doctor moves and I strain to see him as he does so. He turns and I can see it in his hands. My eyes begin to burn and then to water as the tears I struggle to keep at bay slip past my eyelids and down my cheeks. Calm now, Christopher. You know how this goes. The doctor is now standing to my left and I can feel him touching the IV. My lips quiver as I attempt to plead, but nothing comes out. The plunger empties into the port of my IV and a burning sensation traces its way up to my wrist, then my arm, then my neck. Eventually, after seconds that feel like an eternity, my entire body feels like it's on fire from the inside out. I struggle under the bindings. Please, I scream. The doctor watches me and places his hands on my chest, just over the top of my heart. Calm now, Christopher, it's almost over. I feel lightheaded and the world spins around me. The cat on the poster continues to claw its way to the top of the poster, and the room's lights flicker, almost as my vision is the static snow of an untuned TV station. The doctor's voice echoes within my mind. Remember where we told you. The world bends and alters around me, and when the burning stops, I'm sitting alone at my kitchen table. I stand up in shock and wipe my eyes. My apartment looks exactly how I remember it. I walk over to the window and the world is beautifully green and perfect. I open the window and the fresh air seems to wrap itself around my every pore. For a moment I forgot all about the bed, the bindings, the doctor, the shots, all of it. Remember where we told you. The echoing voice of the doctor spins across my frontal lobe and through my thoughts. I turn towards my door, and as I do so I eyeball the intercom. then pause. I walk to it and look over the grease-stained keys. 205. I struggle to remember the details, but my mind is a haze that I can no longer navigate anything. I run my fingers across the keys and long for the days that are long since past. I continue to the door and pause just in front of it. I lean with one arm, holding my weight from it before slowly allowing my entire body to rest against its cool surface. I can hear the pulsing across the hall, and I can still feel it. I shift my head and look through the peephole, hoping to see nothing and wishing to see anything. The hallway outside is skewed and empty. I open the door and slowly step out into the hallway. I touch the door to Mary's apartment. I could feel the mechanical pulse that hides deep within its walls. I know no matter how hard I try, she will never answer the door again, and I know this now because they have told me. My emotions quiver to the surface and I rest my head on her door. The rhythmic pulsing of the building lulls me into a near-trance state. The world around me is spinning and I am alone. I feel a stinging in my hands. The stinging turns to a fire as the nerves in my forearms scream out in pain, and the pain encompasses my entire body. My body writhes and I thrust it upwards from the bed. The leather bounds hold me down and chafe at my skin. The doctor looks disappointedly at me, sweat dripping down from my face. "Christopher, you know she is not there. You have to get past this." I feel as if I'm going to pass out. My stomach turns and my body feels a sudden cold chill. I turn my head and puke down the side of the bed, my head too heavy to hold up. I just lay in it, too weak to move. The doctor cleans my face and wipes up the bedside's plastic sheeting with a towel. He then wipes the sweat from my forehead. "Please," I whisper, my throat raw and burning. The doctor looks down at me and then adjusts his glasses before reaching again towards my IV. "You have to get past this, Christopher. You will never get better if you can't accept it." I turn my face from him as again my arm releases a full-body explosion of pain. I struggle to maintain balance and my legs feel as if they've been asleep for a week. Pins and needles sparkle their way through my muscles and through the arches of my feet. I'm in my apartment again. The door leading to the hallway to Mary lies just in front of me. I feel weak. My head spins, and in the dim light cast from the living room I can see the peephole as if it's a spotlight sending light into the darkness around me. I move to the door, open it, and I step outside into the hall. There is a rhythmic pulsing deep within the walls of her apartment. I can feel it in every bone in my body. I stare at her door. I know she will never answer it again. I know this because they have told me as such. I walk down the hall and out of the apartment building. The world seems freshly painted, and a cool breeze blows in from the forest beyond the parking lot. The parking lot sits empty, but there in the middle sits a small wooden box. I almost overlook it at first glance, but as soon as I see it I couldn't look away. I know what's in the box. A lock of brown hair that smells of apples, a folded picture of Mary through my apartment door's peephole, and a single solitary button with Canary Button Co. stamped on one side of it. I know I shouldn't go to it, but I am drawn to this box. I just can't look away from it. I lean over to pick it up, and my head bursts in sudden, unexpected pain. I reach towards my face, but the leather straps bind my arms. Blood trickles down my face from the corner of my left eye, and a bearded man looks down over me. There's a small silver point in his hand, and what appears to be a miniature metal hammer. The blood is warm as it runs down my cheek towards my ear. "Okay, Christopher," the man says as he nears the silver point to my right eye, just besides the bridge of my nose. "One more to go and we'll be good as new." There's a sudden jolt. The sound echoes through my mind and I feel a sudden weightlessness. The bearded man wipes my face with a wet cloth and cleans the blood from my skin. A woman, unseen before this moment, steps to my side. I know that I know her, but I cannot for the life of me remember who she is or how we know each other. Her big brown eyes full of sadness and tears, she leans over and kisses my forehead. She runs her fingers along my brow and pushes my hair back from my face. I can't help but think she's beautiful, but she looks so lost. I wish I could know her. The bearded man speaks to her and I struggle to wrap my mind around his words. He'll be better now. You'll be able to go on and have a normal life. We'll take care of him." She looks from me to him, and then back to me as she wipes away the tears and composes herself. Her brown hair hangs down, having fallen from her hair tie, and she whispers, "I just can't believe it's been a year." She looks at the bearded man and continues, "What could have caused this?" The bearded man looks from me to her and shakes his head slightly. "We don't know. It could have been a lot of things. It could have been genetics." He looks down at me. "We tried to get you back to us, Christopher. We really did. I think you'll be better now, though. We'll take good care of you." The man rolls my bed towards the door and I tilt my head to look back at the woman. She watches me as I roll away. Just before I lose sight of her completely, she blows me a small kiss. I can't help but think that I should know her. I wish I could have known her.